So for myself as a child and forced to marry a much older man, who stole my childhood, that was experiencing, I would say, sleep paralysis. Because trying to escape, but I couldn't dare to try. And things a child should be learning, I was robbed of. Like my youth was hidden from me. My adult years were beaten out of me. Um, because I had to do grown-up things, which only a grown-up woman is capable of doing for a husband. And I was just a child and forced to do many things that I didn't want to do, but I had to do them. And daily and I would say hourly by the minute, I toiled and I toiled night and day with very little sleep and basically no rest. I had no one to talk to, and none of the in-laws were speaking to me. Not even the man I was forced to marry would talk to me. Um, I was trained by the ex's mother to be a slave for the family. So I became the caretaker for everyone. And I didn't even know how to care for myself, which was interesting because I couldn't care for me. But then I had to care for an entire family and a husband, and I didn't even know that, never met this man in my life. Um, I was still quite young too, and I needed my parents to provide and to nurture me. I never had that. I don't even know what that looks like. But I was compelled to be awake at 4:30 every morning to cook, clean, wash their clothes by hand because they didn't have a washing machine back in South America because this did not take place in this first didn't happen in Canada. This took place in South America back in a village where I wasn't familiar with the environment. I wasn't familiar with anyone, and I had never met these people, but I became their slave, washing clothes by hand, hanging it to dry on the clothesline out in the sun. Then come evening, I had to physically take the clothes off these lines, take them back into the house, iron them each piece for every member of the family. There were four of them. I did nothing for myself because the time did not allow it. There was so much happening, so much stress and pressure that was placed on me. But I did the best that I could because I was just waiting for a time where I could escape. Um, After I cleaned up and serving meals and everything, then was I able to or allowed to eat my meals, which was in a separate area of their house. I would pray that I'd be able to escape. But I was stuck in a village so far away from anyone I knew. And the man I was, forced to marry was a complete stranger, like I mentioned before. And well, the truth is, I was kept against my wishes. And I can't stress enough the fact that my passport and return ticket to Toronto was taken from me and it was hidden. I was forced to live a life I never chose. And, decades went by, but I kept saying to myself, when I grow up, I want to be someone. I want to do something for myself. But I could never figure out what that was because the perpetrators, then looking back, these were perpetrators that who intentionally controlled and contained me. And that caused a lot of anxiety and depression. I've only recently realized that so much time had passed, and I'm now figuring out who I am. And, I'm starting to carve a life out for myself. And, as we go through life, we learn so much. And I know for myself, I've learned so much and I've gained so much knowledge. School is so important for everyone, but I was, taken out of school at 16 and, you know, I've heard the word used and, I've had a difficult time processing this, but I've heard so many people say to me, you were trafficked. And that was a lot to take in, but facts are facts. It is what it is. It's what happened. And now I'm finding time. I've healed so much, but trying to figure out who I am and what I want for me.